what I do. Sorry, squirrels. All right, guys. So welcome to the call. We have a special guest tonight. Katie, I really don't do my recognition on here because I do it in my team page. And we didn't do it yet today. So I am literally going to introduce you and you are going to start talking because that's what we do. So I'm really excited about today's call. I actually had a coach call right before this call and she was struggling with her social media and how to put herself out there and just being afraid of inviting people. And I was like, you need to get on the call tonight because this is perfect. So Katie Pivovar is, can you guys see me? My kids are FaceTiming me. Sorry, guys. Hopefully they don't call back. That's terrible. What was I saying? Katie. Okay. So Katie, how long have you been a coach? For 42 months. How long is that anyways? Like a little over 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
It'll be 4 years in September.
Awesome. So Katie is also under Melanie. We have the same upline coach and she works really closely with Melanie and they have become very good friends, but she has learned a lot over the past 42 months. And just for an example, Katie has hit Success Club every single month since she has been a coach, which is 42 months in a row. And that is pretty darn amazing. She's also a 3-star diamond coach. So, she's had her experience. She's done very well. She's been very successful. And one thing that she's really, really good at is talking about her personality and showing her personality on social media. And that's how she really gets her audience. That's how she attracts people. The image that I used to even announce that she was speaking on our team call tonight, you can just see her personality and her families through that picture. And she has the cutest little daughter. I love it. And she was talking to me on Messenger today. It was so cute. She could read me a story. She told me she was going to read to me. But anyways, so she's done really, really well with showcasing her personality. And that's what she's going to talk to you guys about, because I feel like even as a new coach and sometimes as a veteran coach, you can kind of get into the funk of, I don't even know how to talk about myself or what to do because I don't want to be like every other Beachbody coach. But at the same time, you want to show who you are and attract people to you. So I think the best way is just being yourself is very, very important and key. And you guys know yourselves the best. So Katie's just going to give some tips on how to really put yourself out there and how to show who you are to gain attraction and audience to you. So Katie, take it away, girlfriend.
All right. So 2 points. I also am a little bit of a squirrel. And if you see me look around, I have 3 cats and this is their room. So I've got one here, one down here, one over here, and they zoom all over the place. So there will probably be a cat fight.
Why did I not introduce you as a crazy cat lady? I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, so the cats have taken a bit of a back seat after I had my daughter, but before I had my daughter, I marketed my cats like they were a part of my fitness. But I'm a squirrel too. And I planned this call, but I don't script out what I'm going to say. So I'm just going to go with the flow. So hopefully you guys will follow along and deal with me, but I'm going to talk to you about how to be the best you on social media. Like Deidre was saying, you know you better than anybody else, but you need to figure out who you are and the type of people that you want to attract through your post. So we are not the type of coaches who just necessarily want to make a sale to make a sale. You want to make a sale to help impact somebody's life. And to partner along with that, you want to make a sale, impact somebody's life who you're going to connect with also. So a big part of that is knowing who you are to help with your attraction marketing. So I'm going to screen share because I do best talking about myself by showing you who I am. So let's see. Is that how I want to do it? Okay. Can you guys see that? And then I'm going to figure out what I'm doing. I literally just figured out how to make this into a slideshow right before this started. Okay, so we are going to talk about showcasing your personality through your posts. Oh gosh, I don't want to stop that. No. Okay. We're just going to do it like this because I don't know what I'm doing. Showcasing your personality through your posts. And I will tell you, when I first started as a coach, I was throwing darts at a wall, not aiming for anything in particular, just trying to make a sale because I wasn't confident in who I was as a coach, because I really didn't know who I was as a person. You know, I was just a small town girl. I could start singing, but I won't. But a small town girl, I loved my cats. Before I started coaching, even while I was coaching, I went to school. I'm a registered veterinary technician, so my world revolved around animals. I am the wife to our county's sheriff's detective. Like, I knew who I was in relationship to other people, but I didn't know who I was in relationship to me. So it took time to figure that out. But luckily, you know, I wouldn't say social media is really forgiving, but it's okay to work it out, to figure out who you are as you go. I was making a lot of like PicMonkey collages and just really making posts to throw things together that weren't reflective of who I am. So now, as time has gone on, I've really been able to showcase who I am. So let me figure out how to do this. The biggest thing when it comes, I don't know if any of you guys have ever read the book Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. I have it, but I haven't read it because my book stinks and I can't read it. Like, it literally smells. So I got the principles of it and have adopted those principles, but I haven't read the book yet. I've heard it's really good. But it's all about making the jabs, the posts that are going to showcase who you are and what you are about. So I picked this picture. Actually, a coach within the Dream Team, a friend of mine, got me this shirt at our last leadership retreat, and it perfectly describes who I am. It says, "Unless you're a cat or holding a pizza, I'm not even talking to you." Because I put so much of who I am out there that somebody that I've only ever met once face-to-face in person in my life found a shirt that explained me to a T. All right. So I love this shirt. It's hilarious. But it's all about what you're putting out there. And I know about myself that I am flawed. No part of me is perfect. And I talk about that. You know, this post in particular talks about how if I bend the right way, I've got fluff. And by stretching another way, I have like the start of definition to my abs. Like, no part of me is perfect, but I'm not afraid to show what's not perfect. So I want to attract the people who aren't trying to be perfect. They're just trying to be happy. They're trying to see the glass half full. So that's what I put out there. And the fact that, you know, this post, I am showcasing stretch marks and cellulite and flub, but I'm happy because I kicked butt in my workout that day. So I'm not putting anything out there, join me, join me, join me, but I'm showing people the kind of energy that I'm putting out there and what they can expect from me. I'm also insanely inappropriate. And this post, I don't talk about my husband a lot on social media just because of his job. You know, occasionally we'll throw a picture up of him, but usually I don't showcase a lot of Mike. But this one, you know, it's another jab. We got rid of our daughter. We got rid of our daughter for the night. She went to stay the night with a family friend. And the first thing we do, it looks like it's going to be something really inappropriate, but he goes to the gym and I do my workout. You know, it's a picture that's going to draw people in, and they're going to see like the funniness behind it, because I want to attract people who appreciate my sense of humor. Somebody who might get offended by a post like this is not somebody who I am going to want to work with. So know who you are in the sense of what you want, the energy and the flow and the kind of rapport you want to have with people. I'm also a mama to my baby bird. This is my Hillary Jane. She's 2.5 years old, and I'm turning her into a selfie-taking, Shakeology-loving cat lady. She is my mini. So this is a post. Again, I'm not telling anybody about anything that we're doing. I'm just talking about our lunch and how I made her pizza and she decided she wanted my Shakeology instead of my pizza, or instead of her pizza. And because I'm the pizza lady, like, who throws away pizza? So again, I try to incorporate humor into almost every single post, because that's who I am. That's what I want to attract. I am not one of those people who throws out motivational quotes and or really gets people through touching down deep in your soul, because that's not who I am. I'm going to be the person attracting people for being weird. But if you are the type of person who really vibes off of giving those little insights, or lifting others up, then use that. Talk about that. Find ways to lift others up. I find ways to make people laugh. So again, you have to know what you want to bring into the world, the energy you want to bring into the world to showcase through your posts. I also struggle with eating clean. I am not known for clean eating. There's the 80-20 rule, and mine's more like the 20-80 rule. So I talk about those struggles, because if I'm throwing out there that I'm perfect all the time, I'm lying to people. Like, let's be real. I'm lying to people. So I find ways to make it work for me. And I also give something for nothing. So this is when I was doing the Whole30-ish. And I say ish because I wasn't 100% compliant, but I adopted like the principles of the clean eating. So I did that, and I made my own taco sauce, and I shared, or taco seasoning, and I shared that with everybody. So even though I'm not perfect with what I do, no part of me ever tries to be perfect. I do like to offer things that are working for me to other people. So you'll see me talking about pizza and ice cream and French fries and all of that. But at the same time, I find ways to clean it up. So these are the people I want to work with, the people who aren't necessarily loving clean eating, where it's torture to force down vegetables. My husband and I actually had the conversation tonight where, like right now, I would rather have my fingernails ripped out than eat vegetables. But I suffered through a serving of broccoli with my dinner. That's just who I am. So that's what I talk about. So find ways to talk about your struggles and give people something that they know, oh, I am facing those struggles too, but here's how to make it work. Again, something for nothing. I also talk about my lifestyle 180. I never was the person who wanted to leave my job to be a coach full time. I loved being a vet tech. I worked really hard for that degree. I know Deidre mentioned she did a call for me a couple weeks ago, how she's not that smart person who it just came naturally to them. I am the same way with my vet tech degree. I worked really hard to get my degree, to get my license, and to give that up was really hard for me. But I knew that I needed to do that to be able to live the lifestyle I wanted. So I talk about how things I normally wouldn't have enjoyed doing before, I now bask in. I relish the fact that I get to do this, like sitting here doing the dishes. And these aren't traditional dishes. These are tea party dishes, because we got to have a Friday afternoon tea party instead of these two Friday afternoons I would be fighting a 120-pound St. Bernard trying to not get bit in the face. So I talk about how coaching has made my lifestyle do a complete 180, because that is a very important part of who I am. Not forgetting the part of me that got to here, because I still really appreciate everything that the old me was able to do and how that has transformed me into the person I am. So really focus on who you've become, but be appreciative of who you were. Because if you are doing Beachbody right, if you are doing coaching right, it is going to change your life for the better. Just hands down, I have never met a coach who is doing this right, who coaching has not changed their life for the better. So don't be afraid to reflect on that in your jabs. in what you're putting out there for people to see what could potentially be there for them. I'm also cheap. Like really, really, really cheap. So I share that in along with my my clean eating struggles. It is hard for us to find healthy food that is affordable. So again, something for nothing. My husband made us almond butter from almonds that were on sale instead of spending $8 for a jar of almond butter at the grocery store. So again, I know I'm just like going on and on about me, but I want you guys to get an idea of like who I am so you can be thinking about who you are, okay? So frugal person, I talk about that, but instead of just saying outright like, hey, I'm cheap, I find a way to turn it around and make it interesting so people can realize that they can do it too. And throwing up a pretty picture doesn't hurt anything either. Like this photo, I remember, got a lot of likes and a lot of comments. And it is, I think, the Snapseed app. If you don't have that one already, it's really good as far as adding lighting and filters and all of that fun stuff. It's one of my favorite ones. So don't be afraid to play around with pictures and have that really eye-catching image, but have good follow-up information to back it up so that they're not just looking at a pretty picture, but there's something that they can use behind that picture. Okay. And then you get them with the hook. So a few times a week, and I'm a proponent of a few times a week instead of like once a day. I don't know how the book says to do it, but a few times a week, you really want to have a call to action that allows people to feel what you are feeling. You know, it's not just to join my group. It's not, hey, be a coach because you can do this too. Elicit emotion within people. So they are feeling the happiness and they are feeling the immense sense of joy and accomplishment you get from finishing a workout, completely finishing a program, from having your Shakeology paid for or paying for your kids' daycare this month. Whatever it is, elicit that emotion within people because it's that emotion that is really going to draw people in. They're going to be looking at your jabs all through the week. But then when you get them right in the feels, that's what's going to bring them in. So here's an example of call to action for me, coach call to action. I am working with my target audience being mom. I never wanted to be a mom. I had no desire to be a mom. I wanted to travel the world. And then I met my husband who was like, yeah, I could have a kid. And I was told myself if I met somebody who wanted to have a kid, I could do it. So I did it. And now I cannot imagine my life without my baby bird. Her name's Hillary. We call her the bird. So I talk in here in my post, like it's an eye-capturing image. It's simple. The message on the image is what's going to bring people in. So they're going to spend time reading my big text because my call to action text, the post itself is usually going to be a little bit longer than those jabs because each week or every day I'm doing those short hooks to draw people in. So when I have that longer post, they know it's going to have something in it that they're going to want to stick around to read. So this one talks about how I knew it was important job being a mother, but never really understood just how important it is and how thankful I am that while I'm not perfect, I am feeling happy in the fact that I get to be around to experience everything with my daughter. And while this might not be exactly what every mom out there wants, every mom out there can understand this sense of I want to be home with my babies. Even if they love their job to no end, they still want to be home with their babies. So I have a coach now who she loves her job, doesn't want to leave her job any stretch of it. But now she's getting ready to have baby number 2. And she's like, I'd really like just an extra day at home with them. You know, she doesn't want to leave her job, but to be able to cut out one day a week would mean the world to her. So that's what she's working for now. Those are the kind of people who I'm attracting. So you have to know who your market is. I also talk about the family life that coaching has brought to me. So I live in a really small town. I live in the town where I grew up, but all of my friends have moved away. So I don't have a big support system here. So I have made coaching and my coach family, my Beachbody family, my challengers, they are my family. And I love so much to be able to hop on my computer, get on my phone every day and talk with my family. You know, family isn't always your bloodline. Family is who you want to be your family. And I talk about that. Because there's so many people who are in the same boat as me. You know, you've got your family, but then you have your family that you create. And I showcase that we are a family. We're not just a bunch of people here trying to sell you stuff. We are a family. We are here for each other through the thick, through the thin, through everything. So I talk about that and I create call to actions around that. My challenge group call to action was a transformation. This was actually just the end of last year. My transformations have been up and down because I started off as a coach, and a month after starting coaching, I got pregnant. So my world as far as Beachbody goes has been losing the weight, gaining 70 pounds during my pregnancy, and trying really hard to get that back off. And just like you noticed with my jab post, as far as talking about my flaws, I talk about my flaws and my transformation because, you know, it's been 2.5 years since I had my daughter and I still am not perfect. I still have my belly roll. I still have my side fluff and my jiggly thighs and my bat wings, but you saw my post today. I'm getting rid of those. My arms are bulking up. But my cat just knocked over my selfie stick. Sorry. But I share my struggles and I talk about when I hit rock bottom, but how I'm coming up out of that. And even though 2.5 years in, doing a workout every single day and doing my cleaning-ish, I should probably be ripped and buff and look perfect, but that's just not how my body's responding. So I talk about that because everybody's going to have a different type of transformation, but it's okay because your journey is your journey. And that is what these groups are about. It's not about comparing yourself to anybody else. It is how you can benefit from these groups, whether on top of physical transformation, but also the mental transformation that you have as well. So don't be afraid to acknowledge more than just abs and not having a double chin. You know, talk about it all. I have no shame. I'm watching Kaylee and Deidre laugh at me in the corner. So I also had a call. This was my call to action last week, actually. It was about seeing results. I'm never going to be smaller than a size 8 in my jeans, and I know that because I got my birthing hips. And I just, I know that about me, but the fact that I was able to buy a pair of size 8 jeans, I was like, oh, yeah, do this. So this call to action post touched on a little bit of everything. It touched on being frugal. It touched on my results. It touched on the fact that I haven't been a size 8 since elementary school. When I was 14, I weighed almost 200 pounds. Weight has always been an issue for me, but the fact that even if I'm not where I feel like I want to be, I'm still making progress, and that is important. So you want to be certain in your call to actions. On top of join me now, let people know what they're getting. And I feel like this is a little obvious, but even sometimes I forget to do this, talking about what they're going to get when they commit to you. You know, they're going to get their workouts, they're going to get their nutrition, they're going to get Shakeology, but because you've been giving these jabs that showcase who you are, remind them what they're getting through you, because you are a critical part of their journey too. So you don't want to let them forget that. But most importantly, with your social media, don't forget to show you. Your social media is you. It's not a product. Fortunately, we are able to use social media to kind of put everything out there, but social media is not your Facebook is not Beachbody. Your Facebook is not Shakeology. Your Instagram isn't, T25, because that's what I'm doing right now. Your social media is you. You just get to use it as an outlet to help other people. This was a post I did talking about like all aspects of my life. I was holding a little doll that my kid has that literally whenever we go out in public with it, people think it's a live baby. But I was holding that because all through college I worked at a daycare. That is why I did not want to have children. I am a cat lady, but I am also a coach. And I own it. Like I own every part of who I am. And that's what I show each and every day. So I showcase that I'm weird. This was a post I made right before Christmas. This is how I want to die, with an empty pizza box next to me too. This adds no value as far as Beachbody is concerned, but it adds value as to who I am. Just a weird girl who loves to eat pizza, So showcase who you are. Even if you don't feel like it adds any value to your ultimate goal, it's adding value because it's showing who you are and it's attracting people to you. It's putting funny stuff out there or motivational stuff out there or whatever gets people feeling. It's putting it out there so they want to keep coming back to what you are putting out there. So I'm not like a motivational person, but I am all about finding ways to love yourself. This one was one where it wasn't anything, it was a little fitnessy related just because I talked about how I did yoga, but really it was talking to the moms out there. Like when you have a bad day, the next day is going to get better because under pressure, beauty is created. Ow, I just hit my knuckle on my desk. So I talk about ways that even though we might not be having a great day, you can still find beauty in yourself and in the day. And it doesn't hurt to have a good filter too. I'm a pizza lover. You guys know I'm a pizza lover. I love the Awkward Yeti. I don't know if you guys know who the Awkward Yeti is, but it is my life to a T. I at least like once or twice a week, I nab one of their pictures and put it on there because they're funny and my people get it. This again was just talking about how despite doing Whole30, I just really wanted a freaking slice of pizza. So little things that make you who you are to draw people in. Again, even if it doesn't add any value like you think it's adding value, it's going to let people get to know who you are. I am also a stroke survivor. Some people know this about me, some people don't. I don't talk about it a ton, but 6 years ago, this was like 6 years ago on the date, I talk about where my life has come from having that stroke 6 years ago and how it has impacted my life for wanting to, when you're that close to on the brink of death, to know just how important life is. I don't think I talk about it a lot just because I am so fortunate, and I know a lot of people are not as fortunate as I was with my recovery, with just everything involving my stroke. But there are times when I am not afraid to talk about that because people need to know that you can overcome immense struggles and immense downfalls. And sometimes bad shit's going to happen to you that you have no control over, but you do have control over how you handle the situation. So again, do not be afraid to talk about the bad things because everybody faces bad things, but you can be a light in someone's life. Even if nobody's had a stroke, they've had bad things happen to them, to people around them, and you can be a light for them to find the glass half full. Again, things I don't talk about a ton, but people know it about me. I'm a wife and a cat lady. This is my main man, Elliot, and my husband, Mike. I love my cats. This one, again, the times that I usually show Mike, he's being a dad, he's rolling his eyes at me, or he is snuggling up with my cats because they are my cats. But people know me for being the cat lady because again, before I had Hillary, I talked about it often. So even if who you are might have a little stigma behind it, it's still who you are. So don't be afraid to show that off. I mean, every single one of my pictures, my workout selfies, has literally we built a cat tower on my wall. And like it's attached to the wall. We have cat towers. I've got another cat tower over here. I have a wall full of like cat knickknacks. Like I'm a crazy cat lady, but I own that. And if Mike left me, I would probably never get remarried and just have way more cats than I already do. And he knows that. And people know that too. So even though you might be weird and you might be awkward, talk about it, because somebody's going to relate to you. Somebody is going to relate to that. My most important feature is I'm a mama to my bird. Every single day. And one thing you can do is to attract people to your page. Do something every day that provides no value really to your business in the traditional sense, but provides value to the life of those around you. So I was talking to Mike about this today, at least 2 years. I'm not certain exactly how long, but at least 2 years. Every single day, every single morning, the first thing I do before I brush my teeth, before I pee, before I put on my contacts, I make my DDOC, which is my daily dose of Q. And every single morning, I post a picture of my daughter. It does not impact my business. She doesn't sell anything in her post. She doesn't talk about Shakeology in her post. She's not working out in her post. There is a one workout picture there, but that wasn't her. One of these is my DDC. My little nugget down there at the bottom. I did a flashback today. Squirrel. So every single day I do a post of my daughter. And literally people have watched her grow up. People who have never met her know my daughter. And the reason why I did this actually wasn't for social media at all, but because my mom lives in Europe. My husband's dad lives in Florida. His mom lives in Texas. So this was a way for our families to see her each and every single day, for them to watch her grow up. They knew that every morning they could tune into my Facebook page and they would get to see their granddaughter. And it has turned out that tons of other people, my Facebook friends, have grown to love my DDOCs too. I will be in town, and you know when you like know who people are but you don't really know who people are, that happens a lot in my town. And if I'm out with Hillary, people acknowledge Hillary before they acknowledge me. Like people know who she is, and then they look up and they see, oh, there's Katie too. We have a festival in our town once a year that it lasts for 10 days. We'll walk down the street and people will stop her. Like they know my daughter. She's famous in our town. But I mean, they watch her grow up, and it doesn't do anything for my business, but people love this. And it has gotten people to come back each and every single day to see what Hillary's up to. And the more they're tuning in to certain aspects of my social media, the more they're liking these pictures or commenting on these pictures, the more of my other stuff is going to show up. So the more they'll get to see those jabs, the more they'll get to see those hooks, because they've liked pictures like this, which really is just me showing off how adorable my kid is. And sometimes I use her for posts. The picture of her holding the weights, I use that as a post. And, sometimes I use her, but for the most part, she's just a way to attract people to my social media without me even really trying to. I'm just showing off mom life. So to kind of conclude things, be you so you can attract the right kind of people. Attract the people that you want to work with. And the more confident you are in who you are, the flaws, the things that are great about you, the weird things, the quirky things, the things that make you sad, the things that make you happy, the more you talk about those things and share those things, the more you're going to attract people who are just like you. The easier it is to work with challengers who are just like you, because you've already attracted the people who have the same struggles as you. You've already attracted the people who do well in the same sort of situations. You've brought people onto your team who have the same kind of mindset, the same kind of mentality, the same kind of work ethic, because you've used attraction marketing properly. So ignore the kind of posts that everybody else is making. I will have people ask me if I've seen their post. And I'm like, honestly, no, I haven't, because I don't spend a lot of time scrolling through Facebook, seeing the other kind of posts that people are doing, because what they're putting out there isn't going to work for the people I want to bring in. I might see something and get an idea to like have a spin in my direction, but for the most part, what works for Deidre isn't going to work for me. I have nothing like being a mom of 2 boys, or now a military wife, or fitness competition. Like, that's, if I tried to talk about any of that, people would be like, well, what's she talking about? Like, I talk about what I know. And the more you talk about what you know, the easier things are just going to ebb and flow. And there are going to be times when you spoof on the kind of posts you make, and you might be like, that one didn't really work so well. But just know, if one post gets 5 likes, but the post right before it got like 50 likes or more, I guarantee you those people have probably seen that post that only got 5 likes, but they're just not putting themselves out there to like it or to comment on it, but they're still seeing it. So the more you put out jabs that are reflective of the people you want to bring into your special circle, the more they're still going to be seeing it. So even if you feel like that post was a flub, or that didn't work well, or nobody commented on this, people are still seeing it. So don't be afraid to showcase who you are in that aspect. So my kind of call to action for you guys is to take about 15 minutes tonight to go through and reflect on your social media. Does it really put out there? Does it portray the type of person you are? Or does it portray the type of person that you want to be that isn't quite you? And that's okay, but you need to kind of loop around to really showcase who you are. And as you grow and evolve, then talk more about that person who you're becoming. And then also think about, too, just who are you? It can be so difficult to think about who you are, but take time while you're reflecting on your social media. Like, who are you? Who are you above just, a wife, a mom, an employee, a Beachbody coach? Like, what makes you you? And that's going to be really important to figure out. And I notice when I talk to my coaches about who they are, it's hard to get out of that realm of who you are to other people and think about who you are to you. Like, I'm that weird girl who loves cats and pizza and is just different, but it's okay. As long as you're embracing who you are, that's what matters. So let me stop my screen share. It was just a lot of talking about me, but I'm good at that.
That was good. I kind of felt like I was listening to myself with how you talk. I loved it.
I'm trying to keep my voice down because I just put my daughter to bed. Like, I literally put her to bed and then ran out. So like before this all started, she was singing for Frozen songs. So I'm like trying to kind of keep it low so she doesn't hear me talking, but she's my like seductive voice.
Well, it's really sexy. And guys, seriously, go over to her Facebook, because it shows everything that she talks about with her personality. Like, she is consistent talking about her personality, and you'll see that she is funny on social media. Like, that is her. And I love it. They're just so, your pictures are so cute. And I know a lot of people struggle, if they don't have kids or they're not married and they're like, I don't know what to post. You gave some really good examples. Like, okay, talk about how frugal you are. Or if you like to spend money, like if you go to Target every single day of your life, talk about that. Or, if you love pets, or if you love fashion. And just an example, I saw a couple examples, and even for myself, if you're good or bad with time management. I got so many comments on talking about how I was actually on time for church with 5 kids and a husband on Sunday. It was awesome. But like Megan Blinka, she was talking about how many times she washes her hair a week, and she's getting a lot of comments on that. But just I'm looking at Kaylee right now. She posts about donuts and coffee all the time. By the way, you need to do that donut picture about how you're going to die with donuts in your yard. But those are just some examples. Like, you don't have to always, don't worry about if you don't have kids yet or if you're not married yet, because you can still be successful and share your personality and talk about who you are. And you can still be very successful doing it. But I loved every bit of that call. It was awesome. And I love hearing your personality because you're pretty awesome. And your daughter's so adorable.
Isn't she so stinking
Did
cute?
you guys, okay, you guys need to go look at her video of her daughter watching TV and talking, and then she's like, oh, I tooted. Was she watching TV or doing something? And she, out of nowhere, was like, I tooted.
She was like, I was videoing her for something. I don't remember
She was
why.
sick or something. You were saying she was feeling better.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm feeling better. And then she's just talking. She goes, I tooted. And then just go back to what she was doing.
It was so cute.
She's a 2-year-old. Like, I mean, there's no filter there. Like, today she looked at me and she said, what did she say to me? She goes, Mom, what's your problem? I'm like, screw you. Like, I don't have a problem. You're my problem. So,
But
yeah.
I love how you come out and you are just so honest with who you are. Being okay talking about your flaws. You have people come to you that are like you and that have goals like you because that's what you share. You don't need to say you're only looking for people who are trying to lose 5 pounds or tone. You're looking for people who are like you. And when you show your body and you show who you are, you're attracting those people, and you guys are going to have more of a relationship and bond because you guys are similar and you have similar goals.
And when I put out those pictures that show off my stretch marks and my spare tire and all of this, those are the posts where I am the most self-conscious, but those are the posts that get the most attraction and the most people talking to me, because I'm not that girl on Instagram with abs or these like rock solid arms. Or I do have pretty killer calves. I'm not going to lie. I'm proud of my legs. But those are the posts that bring people in, because I'm just that real kind of everyday girl striving to be a healthy, happy, real everyday girl. But those are the people I want to bring in. So those are the type of people who are really not afraid to like and comment on those kind of posts. So
I like it. And then I just wanted to add one more thing, because this is also what I talked about on my coach call earlier, is when you have people that may not say that they're interested, but they may like or comment and say, hey, good job. Like, those are your potentials. Like, make conversations with those people. Just because they're not telling you straight up, hey, I'm interested, those are the people that you want to talk to and continue building a relationship with and just get to know them. And you don't have to do an invite right away, but just talk about their goals, or thanks for the support. Are you on your own fitness journey? Or just if it's non-fitness related, just throw up a conversation with them. Talk about their kids, or talk about food if they liked one of your recipes or something you posted about food. And that's a really good way of getting a relationship built before that invite that you do, because I don't like cold inviting, and I know a lot of other people don't like cold inviting. So if you're worried about cold inviting, then this is your perfect opportunity to go and message those people and just start building that relationship with people that are liking your stuff.
And usually it's my call to actions where I get responses from people who are already a part of my team or are already my customers and who already like know and understand how this works. But it's my jabs that bring in my customers. It is those conversations that I'm starting and those relationships that I'm building because they see who I am, and then it's not just a sale. It's those posts that bring in my customers, that bring in my coaches. And I will say too, I'm going to go on a tangent for a second. Stick around. Like, don't be that coach. This pisses me off because I've had this happen. So I'm going to go on a tangent. Don't be that coach who says you're going to be here to support people through their journey. And I'm here for you every step of the way. And 6 months down the road, life gets hard. I see you, Kaylee. Life gets hard. There's a bump in the road. Something happens. And it's just easier to not post on social media. It's easier to not check into your groups. It's easier to just let life get in the way. But these people are relying on you. They have put their trust in you. And because you've put yourself out there as a person to trust, they're going to expect that from you. So if you're here now, be here tomorrow, be here through the good days, be here through the bad days, because these people are relying on you, and it is unfair to them. It is unfair to the rest of us as coaches. It is unfair to this company to let life get in the way. And yes, life is going to happen, but use what is happening in your life to talk to people, to share that, to showcase that. Because like you said, everybody has bad days. Everybody has bad things happen to them, but that doesn't mean that you give up on people who have trusted you. So there's my tangent.
Amen, sister.
I don't know where that came from, but I think it was my hard times thing. And, if you're here now, like, that's amazing. Just be here this time next year too. So
awesome. Thank you. Hey, does anyone have any questions or anything they want to add?
I've scared you all officially now.
Nope. If they don't have any questions, that means you rocked it.
Oh, and I will say too, after I do calls, I get an influx of friend requests. And I have a really hard time managing people if they're already a Beachbody coach. So if you want to see what I'm doing, just like hit the follow button.
Don't add me as a friend.
Yeah, don't add me as a friend, because I literally, my brain cannot handle like, my friend list is really small because I cannot handle that many people. Like, my squirrel mode just like goes into major, like, what's happening right now? I don't know how many times I've been like, why do I know you? Like, literally have typed a message to somebody like, how do we know each other? What's happened? So okay. I'm a dick by saying that. But
two things. Number one, you're not a dick. And everyone who may think she is, wait till you're in the business a little longer, and then you have an influx of Beachbody coaches that want to request you, and you're like, I need to save room for my coaches and challengers. You'll understand one day. Number two, I literally love the fact that you say literally as much as I do.
Everything is literal.
Right? My husband always makes fun of me for that. He's like, literally. I'm like, I'm not the only one who literally says that all the time. So I love it. I a whole bunch.
Did I say it a lot while I was talking?
Like the whole time. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And I noticed it because I pick it out when I say it now.
I don't even realize I do it, but I am blushing now.
Why are you blushing?
I think because I was a jerk, and now I have a guilty conscience by saying, don't send me a friend request. Like, I feel really bad. Like, everybody please send me a friend request, and I will accept it because I'm not a jerk.
I just deleted 43 friend requests of Beachbody coaches today. It's okay. Well, no, my assistant.
Look at me, though. Like, I feel terrible that I just said that. But I knew it was going to happen, and I get so, like, confused.
No, guys, don't be upset with her, okay? You'll realize it when you have to do it, too. You'll be like, now I know what she meant.
It's just like, I capped out at, like, 150 people. Or, what do I have, 1,500 people on my friends list? I don't know how people have 5,000.
Oh. I go to my birthdays, and I delete creepers. And other Beachbody coaches that I don't know. There's a point where you have to. Ashley does it too. See, don't feel bad.
But see, like, the Beachbody coaches that I'm friends with are like people who I've built relationships with, who I know. So like I have a lot of Beachbody coaches as my friends, but they're my friends. I don't need any more friends.
I have enough.
This is derailed. Like, this conversation just went that way.
It's okay. Nobody add her, just follow her.
I'm sweating right now. Like, I feel really bad.
Go eat a piece of pizza, you'll feel better.
Nope, I'm being good. Taylor ate ice cream and I didn't eat any.
Good job.
Okay.
All right, guys. Does anyone have any questions before she goes?
Sorry.
Thank you so much for your time. You were amazing. I loved it. I love your personality. I would love to be under you if I wasn't under Melanie.
I'd love it if you were under me too.
You're so funny.
Remember that inappropriate thing? Like, I just take it one step too far, but it's all right.
That's what I love about you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for getting on. And I hope
Thanks for having me on. Sorry it went weird.
it was awesome. All right, guys. Good night.
Bye.
See ya.